Bande Matram, Pranam, welcome all of you. It is much more difficult to do work than to do sadhana. Very important topic. You have heard so many things on work. So, Mother Course deliberately clarifies. It is much more difficult to do work than to do sadhana. We don't know what really we understand by sadhana. Sometimes we do things like sadhana means leaving home, not getting married, opening something like this. We have taken it outwardly. This is sadhana. But here in the mother course, it is much more difficult to do work than to do sadhana, as it is ordinarily understood. There is nothing complexity in it. Ordinarily understood, work is the best prayer of the body. Let us work as we pray, for indeed work is the body's best prayer for the divine. Normally, what we do in sadhana, we pray. We pray and pray and pray. We keep on praying. Still in the course, work is the body's best prayer for the divine. So, what we have to do? Let us work as we pray. As we pray, one souled, one hearted, entirely concentrating upon everything. As we pray, like that, let us work. For indeed, we must know work is the body's best prayer for the divine. Body is the best prayer for the divine. And mother also in another context she has clarified, some work is necessary for the proper balance of the body. For the proper balance of the body, work is absolutely necessary. So in work, nothing good or bad, nothing magnanimous and mean, nothing big or small. Like this, it is great, always great. So here it is a topic. It is much more difficult to work than to do sadhana, as it is ordinarily understood. Still, mother tries to clarify. It is not so easy to do work. Not so easy to do work. Normally, what we outwardly, superficially, externally we think of. Not easy to do work. Don't think that somehow finishing the outward form of work is doing the work in the true sense. Something is given to you to accomplish. Anyhow, with any mentality, with any accomplishment, you have finished it up. Don't think that is the proper meaning of deeper meaning of work. So you must know. Completing them anyway, by any means, by whatsoever method you use. That is not really the definition of work, true work, I mean. For that, actually, Mother quoted, it is much more difficult to work than to do sadhana, as it is ordinarily understood. Then, in meditation, what really happens in meditation, your consciousness goes higher and remains there in the conditions of the light and the peace. Really, if you are meditating, what really happens? Your consciousness goes higher and remains in that conditions of the light and the peace, in the higher hemisphere, in the higher level. That's what happens. In the true work, on the contrary, when you really work, in true work, you can find something different. What happens there? You can find in true work, we have to do that also, means raising the consciousness to the higher sphere in the conditions of the light and peace. It remains there. That also work here, and much more. Nothing, not only confined to that. I will try to explain it again and again. In ordinarily, in what really happens in meditation, suppose you are in true spirit, doing the true in the true spirit of meditation, you are meditating properly. Then what happens really? Your consciousness goes higher and remains in the conditions of the light and the peace. In work also, same thing happens, plus many more, or plus much more. You have to do all that a yogi does. That is what the real meaning of the work. what really the yogi does. You have to reach the highest heights. That is the what really the yogi does. Yogi means doing the yoga and again the siddhi, gone for the higher range of consciousness. Like that, you have to work. Second, you have to reach the highest heights, and there, from there, bring down the conditions of the consciousness, light, and the peace. There itself, you have to bring, first of all, what the yogi really does, you have to do. Second, you have to reach the highest heights. And the third, bringing down the conditions of the three things: consciousness, light, and peace. And then manifest them means same conditions, light, and the peace, whatever has been brought down by you from the higher hemisphere, from the peak, into your everyday jobs. That is what the difficulty there arises. But here, what happens in meditation, you go to the higher hemisphere, you stay there. Same thing in work. What happens here? You have to do what really the yogi does. There, second thing, you have to reach the highest height. Third, you have to bring down the conditions of the light, peace, and the consciousness downward. And here you have to, number four, you have to, what you have to do? Now manifest them in the everyday jobs. These are very difficult, very tough. Not means even much more than the state of your, meditation. So, for you, no work is significant or trivial. For you, no work is insignificant or trivial. That's what. Already we have quoted. Sorry, I quoted. Insignificant or trivial. Everything has its higher value. You have to do. Then you have to think of. You have to take it that way. You have to analyze in that way. That is what the requirement of the time. You have to do. You must know there is nothing great or small, magnanimous or mean, good or bad, reachable or unreachable, to my choice or not to my choice. Nothing like this. Every day, every time, every moment, with every mood, you have to think you are working for the divine. So that you must take your in your mind. And the second, then Steve Mother course goes forward. There must be the order and harmony. That is the two things, great thing. What we have to do, there must be order and harmony in work. Normally, that we don't have. Anyway, we want to finish them up, and we want to wind up and go. Okay, but that is not the real thing, the real motive. What Mother tries to clarify. Mother quotes, every day try to better yourself. Finish up the work fast. First, you finish up, then you go one first work job, and you go for the second. What really we do? 50% we complete from first job, then we handle the second one. After completing 50% of the second, we go and handle the third. So people will be roaming like anything. This is what the reason we normally we see in our day-to-day life, day-to-day work procedure. But actually, you should not do. What you finish up the first, then you go for the second. Second, you finish up, then go for the third. And so far, this experience and your effectivity, efficiency is concerned, try to better yourself, better every day. Don't get satisfied. That I have done this one, that. Still, something can be done because suppose you have crossed 1000 steps. Don't think that is the peak. Still after 1000 steps, still more are there. So you have to cover on, you have to overpass, you have to overcome. There is no final resting place for the unless otherwise you have reached the divine. That is a greater part of your consciousness, and it will be conscious by the inner guide, the psychic. Anyway, so Mahasaraswati is not all satisfied with your work if even the slightest disharmony, disorder, or confusion. If there is something little bit of disharmony, disorder, and or confusion, if it is found in the work, Mahasaraswati will never be satisfied. Nothing short of a perfection satisfies her. You have read it. So again, there must not be any disharmony, disorder, or confusion. Or if it is found, Mahasaraswati is not at all satisfied. Not at all. Not that you will get the 60%. That is also a first class. No, 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 no. Or you have got some 35% mark so that I have passed. Nothing. Nothing short of a perfect perfection satisfies all. Even what is apparently the most significant things must be done in the perfect perfection. Apparently most insignificant things, whatever you feel, that also must be done with the perfect perfection, which is a sense of cleanliness, beauty, harmony, and order. So that must be taken care of. Cleanliness, beauty, harmony, and order. With all this amalgamation, you have to finish up the job that has been assigned to you. You have not chosen the thing that has been assigned to you in a very crystal clear manner. That is what your name is on that, and Mahasaraswati is behind all she is witnessing. For example, says, even if when you sweep a room, you must try to make it clean as fast as the first class operation there. Even if the smallest thing to clean a room, do it as perfectly as you can. That is what the requirement of Mahasaraswati is. And unless you work hard, that is what the requirement. Unless you work hard, you don't get energy. What normally we feel that contrary concept. If we work hard, we'll lose our energy. Mother quotes another way. Unless you work hard, you don't get energy because it is in that case you don't need it and don't deserve it. So whatever you do it very cleanly, perfectly, and with the hard work. You get energy only when you make use of it. Suppose somebody is sleeping whole the day, means whatever he has consumed or eaten in the morning, that is not consumed. So in afternoon means lunchtime you need not take the meal. What the energy is getting dispensed, spent. But for that to gain the energy, what you have to do, you get the energy only when you make use of it. There also after this breakfast you need some energy, and this energy will be provided from the various food and food items. But thing is that you need energy, you get energy only when you make use of it. The more you use, the more you get. That is what the requirement. And letter mother goes forward. When in your work you find something giving trouble outside, already previously in the past concept we have discussed that when some work is assigned to you by the mother, sufficient energy and consciousness, force and consciousness has been supplied by the mother. Because see, no work will be assigned to you which will be beyond your capacity and you can't attend it. This type of work, this sort of work will never be assigned to you, because with the work you must take that notice, you must take that definitely some energy, some force, some consciousness of the Supreme Mother along with the grace, it has been provided to you to accomplish the work in a very perfect manner. So nothing to worry. Very interestingly, one can see when you in your work you find something giving trouble. Naturally, work is not all the smooth process, and more of a level of consciousness that is not also same. So something some you will be finding. Suppose you one class 8 student, he has come to appear the standard 3 exam. That is a different issue. Very easy he will find. But when this guy is reading in class 8 and he has to face the exam of the same category and the same standard, it will be difficult for him. So it depends upon the trouble, varies from person to person. When something you find that work is giving trouble outside, then what we have to do? It is troubling me outside. What I have to do? Look within, and you will find yourself. Look within. Look within. That is the best method. Everywhere you have to look within, go within, and you will find in yourself the yeah, corresponding difficulty inside it. Change yourself and the circumstance will change. Circumstance is not really found in outward circumstances, outward environment. Everything you find inside it. Corresponding difficulty, if you look within, then you can find the corresponding difficulty, which difficulty is reflected outside. But that actually what I have to do, change yourself, that is the best thing, and the circumstance will change. Thanks.